Don't fly blind. This is the one that most, I would say 80% of the room doesn't do this enough, is M1. So start here. The truth about what your numbers are. And I'm not saying that they're lying, but there's ways to kind of manipulate this data. An example is when you do chiropractic care, not everybody pays in full for chiropractic care, right? Sometimes you say, well, pay $300 a month for your $2,500 care plan. But the ad agency will put $2,500 into your ROAS to make it look like you got a 9-to-1 return. But if that patient quits, how much did you make? $300. So then that ROAS doesn't make sense. So don't, yes, get their data, but don't rely on them to do that. Setting up and tracking just once and never reviewing it. We review it in my office every week. It's on a whiteboard. I have all the metrics that I want, and Monday night before they leave, they write it on that board, and Tuesday morning we talk about it and go through it every single week. And not separating organic and paid. In my EHR system, I can actually run a report that says that this person was from a referral, this person was from a seminar, this person was from Facebook. So I can see all that information and put it into a spreadsheet or an EHR system to see all that stuff, or a CRM. So this playbook is important for most people to know your numbers. Get a CRM tracking system. You know, Go High Level is a good one that a lot of people use. You can just do a spreadsheet. I did a spreadsheet in my office for years before Blueprint. Every single Friday I would sit down and just spreadsheet everything so I could see how many visits I saw, how many new patients I had, how many of them converted, how much I collected. So at the end of the month, it wasn't confusing to me. Tagging leads, I tag my leads in my EHR system so I can just run a report, makes it super easy. Live dashboard is something like Go High Level, so you can see that stuff in real time. That way when you make all your decisions at the end of the month, it's not a gut decision. I think chiropractors, we're not really bred all the time as CEOs. So we make decisions on how we feel, right? Like that's kind of, the way that chiropractors are. But as a CEO, you can't do that. You have to make all your decisions based on true real-time data so you can figure out how to change things and get the most out of every dollar that you're putting out there. Don't fly blind. This is the one that most, I would say 80% of the room doesn't do this enough, is M1. So start here by far. When can you move on to M2? When you can tell me all your metrics right now within 30 seconds. If you can't tell me that, you got to get M1. And I'm not saying like you think it's $50 cost per lead. You know for a fact it's $50 cost per lead for Facebook, it's $75 for TV, it's $100 for seminars, and you know it like the back of your hand. When you get to that point, that's when marketing gets fun.